Welcome to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me is Anthony El Chappi Castillo.
It's always a pleasure to be on with you, Muggs. I appreciate it. And I heard that on Saturday night, you were at that 4.5-hour marathon game between Matter and Florida Christian with Briggs' place?
Pablo, that game went into triple overtime. It was actually a double pitchers duel. There was 40 strikeouts combined between both teams.
Incredible.
Alfred Rosario for Matter had 16 strikeouts. Steven Gonzalez had 9, and they were the starters. Then it was Rowan Plasencia that came in. After catching 6 innings, he pitched 4. He got 10 strikeouts. And the Matter reliever, Heudy La Rosa, he got 5 strikeouts. And it was like I said, a double pitcher's duel. It was crazy. I'm so happy that we have that game for everyone to watch. People are still talking about that game. It was so good. It's must-watch television.
That game was epic. It was one of the best games I've seen in a long time, especially a night game that just carries on and carries on. It felt like it was never going to end.
Dude, that was unbelievable. Tremendo game. You guys got to watch that game. All right, Chappi, let's get things started with your weekly player profile. And I see that you have some really good ones this week.
Yeah, we do. This week I decided to take a different approach to the games, and I decided to go and check out Belen versus Cardinal Newman. Belen had their starting pitcher, Frankie Alemán, and he's committed to St. Peter's College. And Frankie was very good on the mound. He kept their team in the game for the most part, but he was outdueled by a kid that's committed to Indian River named Max Gonzalez out of Cardinal Newman. Max Gonzalez was up to 90 on the mound, and he was filthy, and he kept Belen at bay. So let's now move on to our next game, which was a very, very surprising game, a very underrated team, in my opinion, in Miami-Dade County. They faced another Cardinal team called Cardinal Gibbons. And True North, they put their stud on the mound. This kid, his name is Alan Soler. He's a class of 2025. He's committed to the University of Central Florida, and this kid is outstanding on the mound. Left-handed pitcher. He's got a quality curveball. It's big league ready. He's got big league ready stuff. We could see this kid possibly in the amateur draft this year.
Nice.
Now, his counterpart on the other side, which is Cardinal Gibbons, they had a class of 2025 who's committed to North Carolina State. This kid, his name is Mikey Ragusa. Ragusa was between 92 to 94 with a filthy slider, devastating slider, putting away guys left and right. That game was a legit pitcher's duel, and that game ended up 3-2 in the hands of True North, which, again, that team continues to defy all odds and beat quality team after quality team. So I'm going to move on with one of the most exciting games of the week as I jumped over to West Kendall to see South Dade versus Archbishop Coleman Carroll. South Dade at first was losing. They weren't in it, wasn't looking good. But they had a kid named Zach Tyre, first baseman. This kid hit 2 absolute mammoth home runs. The first one he hit on a line, 330, right over the left fielder's head. It would look like it didn't carry more than 10 feet off the ground. It was a laser. And the second one he hit damn near 380 feet to left center field. This kid has manpower. He was very, very good. And he rallied his team with those 2 home runs to carry them into an incredible comeback victory against ACC. So Zach Tyre, we caught up with him after the game.
All right, I'm here with the player of the game, Zach Tyre, out of South Dade Buccaneers. All right, Zach, go ahead and give me your intake on that first home run that you hit. What were you looking for in that count and that at bat, buddy?
Honestly, we just had 2 outs, so I was just trying to get on base any way I could, and he threw me a little breaking ball. But honestly, I feel like I adjusted to it and I got it a little bit. I ran out, and honestly, I felt it was gone off the bat, but I just wanted to run out just to make sure. And it just went out, and I looked at my teammates, and it was gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome feeling, brother. So let's talk a little bit about the ending of this game. You guys were down a little bit, and you guys needed to kind of come back. And that second home run really uplifted you guys and gave you guys a chance. So let's talk about that second home run. Let's talk about your teammates and how they got all rallied behind you guys and kept it going for you guys to get this big dub. So let's talk about that.
Yes, sir. This one I felt more off the bat, so I was like, I ran halfway down the line to make sure, but honestly, when I started around the bases, I started getting my teammates. Not over yet. We still have more innings. We weren't done yet. I felt like we weren't done. I knew we were going to come back after that inning, and we came back. and honestly, we came back good, and we fought back, and we fought back hard.
All right, so let's talk about your guy on the mound that just closed it out. Talk about his impact for you guys, and talk about what it takes for you guys to finish a game like that, especially on the road.
Absolutely, Angel. He's our guy. He's our ace. My opinion, he's one of our best. Definitely top 2. He's my guy. Honestly, when he came on that mound, I was like, honestly, after that, I was like, shut out. We got this.
Shutting it down.
When they were on that mound, we were like, we got this. They were shut out. We were good. We were done.
All right, man. All right, guys. This is the player of the game for today's game against ACC. Zach Tyre with 2 bombs. Zach, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
So after the game, after with Zach Tyre, I also caught up with Angel Ayala. Angel, he ended up closing the game for South Dade. South Dade was down by 3 or 4 runs going into the last inning. They put up a 5 spot, and they ended up winning that game, and Angel closed it out, and he was 85 on the bump. Excellent stuff for this kid. Really excited for South Dade and all of these teams going on throughout the season. So next segment is called the Weekly Recap.
Chappi, you did a great job with that video again.
Appreciate it.
Man, there's some real dogs out there. And I love the high-def 8K quality. Man, you look like Fox Sports almost on that. That was pretty damn good.
I try to give everybody as much quality content as possible. So, Muggsy, I see you got the boxing gloves on, man. You ready for round 2?
It's that time again. Yes, sir. The weekly recap. It's where we go over the teams and the weekly scores on the games that took place in Miami-Dade and Broward County. And we'll try to do as many as we can. There's just so many teams in Miami-Dade and Broward, and we don't have the time to talk about all of them. So we'll try to get to as many as we can today.
It's the second week of the season, and we already had some tremendous surprises, upsets, and some extra inning games.
All right, first, though, we have some news from around the league. Our buddy Laser Collazo has stepped down from his position at Felix Varela as head coach for reasons unknown to us at the time, but we want to wish him the best. He's always been a really good friend and a good friend of the show.
Yeah, Laser is an incredible coach in this community. He's an incredible ambassador for the game here in this community, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Let's get into the recap. Monday was a holiday. It was President's Day, and for most people, they had the day off, but not for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. They hosted the Palmetto Panthers at home, and head coach David Fanshaw gave the rock to senior Kaiser Alvarez. And he said, "Go to work, young man." And that he did. He pitched a 1-hitter over 6 innings with 9 Ks. And it was Roydan Perez and Adrian Henriquez providing the run support. And the Hawks took care of business 4-0. On Wednesday, the Hawks went down to Pinecrest to face Emil's Warriors. And they beat them 4-1. On Thursday, they took care of the Terrell Wolves 6-1. And they're killing it, man.
The Hawks are a perfect 4-0 this season. And they have St. Brennan and Coral Reef coming up this week.
All right, let's talk about the South Miami Cobras. A team that we really haven't talked about this season. The Cobras are 2-1-1 behind their head coach, Sal Camaranza. Hope I said that right.
Camarasa, yeah.
Camarasa, with wins over Manor Bay 3-1 in their season opener. Then they played to a 4-4 tie with Gables and on Thursday, the Cobras beat up on Homestead 9-1. The next day, these Southwest Eagles came down Miller Drive a few blocks, and the Eagles took a huge win back home, 10-5 over the Cobras.
South Miami has Miami Lakes and the Reagan Bisons coming up next week. I'm looking forward for those matchups.
It was good to be back home again for the Columbus Explorers. On Monday, they beat the Killian Cougars 8-1, and that home cooking must taste real good to Max Alvarez because he went yard for the second time in as many games as at home. We're going to have Max on the player spotlight later today, and I'm going to ask him what he's been eating because he's on fire, man. He's hitting .667 in the first 2 weeks of the season. Then Columbus went to Pinecrest to take on the Palmetto Panthers and gave him, 10 por la cabeza. They crushed the Panthers 10-0. And 2 days later, they took a trip down Bird Road to face off against the Gables Cavaliers and crushed them 14-1. Max went 2 for 3 with a double in that game.
Coach Weber's Explorers have a meeting at Mandy's Southwest Eagles next week on Thursday, and that's never an easy place for the visiting team, even if they were just about a mile away.
All right, on Tuesday, most of the games in that Hialeah-Doral area, they were rained out. Some of the teams that did play that day were the Killian Cougars. They beat up on Coral Park 14-4. The Cougars even their record to 2-2, and they'll travel to Georgia next week. Another team we haven't talked much about this year are the defending 4A state champions, the Chiefs of Cardinal Gibbons, and they're led by head coach Josh Hamilton. The Chiefs have dropped their first 3 games of the season, losing to Jupiter 13-5. Miami Christian beat them 5-4, and they lost to St. John Paul. The Chiefs hosted True North on Wednesday, and they lost that game 5-4. So a rough 0-4 start to the season for the state champions. Another team looking for its first win of the season are the Miami Beach High Tides, and they're led by their head coach, Charlie Garcia. The Tides have lost 3 one-run games to Ferguson, San Brendan's, and Varela, and they were looking to bounce back against North Miami Beach and Sunset this week. The Tides scored 16 runs in a big win over North Miami Beach and then beat the Knights 6-3, improving their season record to 2-4.
They'll face J.J. Sanchez and the American High Patriots on Tuesday.
At the game that you were at, Chappi, the South Dade Bucks and Omar Baldo finally got their first win over the Archbishop Carroll Bulldogs 9-6 behind a two-home run performance by Zach Tyre.
Yeah, Zach was incredible. Those 2 bombs were, if not the highlight of the week, one of the highlights of the week for sure. He was incredible.
Next team are the LaSalle Royals, and they're led by head coach Nathan Gomez in his 10th year at the helm of the Royal Lions. They put up 2 touchdowns and a field goal, destroying the Slam Titans 17-0. Bam! 17 por la cabeza. On Wednesday, they faced Miami Country Day, and they put up 3 touchdowns on the board and beat Country Day 21-0. Pow! 21 por la cabeza.
That's a knockout.
So they improved their record to 3-1.
Impressive that LaSalle has put up over 52 runs and 4 games on the season.
Another team that we haven't talked about this year are the Miami High Stingarees, and they're led by head coach Edwin Bonilla. The Stingarees won their season opener against Northwestern Bulls 10-0, then defeated Homestead 13-1, and lost a heartbreaker to the Everglades Gators 1-0. Then they edged out a very competitive Cavalier team 4-3. On Thursday, they beat the Northeast Hurricanes 11-1, improving their season record to 4-1.
Yeah, Ed Bonilla does a great job with a very limited resource program, and he always goes out there and keeps those boys ready to play.
In what had to be the biggest surprise so far this season, the True North Titans. I mean, who are these guys, Chappi?
Yeah, these guys are led by Adrian Nieto, and he does an incredible job preparing these guys in a battle-tested strength of schedule.
The Titans handed the JCB Thunder their first loss of the season on Tuesday, 5-2. The Titans and their head coach, Adrian Nieto, started the season off by shutting out the 4-time defending champion Douglas Eagles in a 1-0 masterpiece on Thursday. The Titans played another defending champ in the Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs, and they beat them 3-2, surprising everyone in town except themselves.
This is a team in which they'll face American Heritage next week, and they won't let up as they face Archbishop McCarthy and North Broward Prep later on this season. A really strong strength of schedule. Really looking forward for this program the rest of the season.
The Breezy Boys of West Broward finally got their first win of the season at home versus the 144 Boys of Braddock. They beat them 3-2. The Dogs got off to a great start, scoring 2 runs in the top of the first, but the Bobcats tied it up 2-2 in the 5th and went ahead 3-2 in the 6th. They played the red-hot JCB Thunder team on Thursday and beat them 12-4, improving their record to 2-2 on the season.
The Breezy Boys, they have Cardinal Newman and the Flanagan Falcons next week.
In a battle of 2 Broward County powerhouse teams on Tuesday, the 2 defending state champions, the Douglas Eagles and the North Broward Prep Eagles, faced off in what was to be the game of the week. The senior for Douglas, Braylon Courtney, started the game and threw 3 innings of shutout baseball and then handed the rock over to the lefty, Gil Rojas. And Rojas allowed only 2 runs over the next 4 innings and recorded 11 strikeouts to preserve the victory for Douglas. Then Douglas faced the Western Wildcats on Wednesday and barely edged out the Wildcats 8-7. And Friday night, the Douglas Eagles came down to Miami to take on Jesse's Beleng Wolverines and handed them in a 10-5 loss.
Stoneman Douglas will, if not be one of the top teams in all of Florida, they're going to be ranked in the entire country for sure.
On Wednesday, the FSPN cameras came back home to Wachete to see the Doral Firebirds at the St. Brendan Sabres and the newly crowned Prince of Westchester. Dylan Prince put the Firebirds ahead in the top of the third with a 3-run blast. The Sabres answered back, though, in the bottom of the inning to even the score at 3 for starting pitcher John Perez. But the Firebirds put up 3 more in the 7th to make it 6-3. The Sabres managed to get 1 run in the 7th, but fell short 6-4. The Firebirds played their second consecutive game on Thursday when Moe's young Spartans came to Doral looking for an early season upset. And in a game that you can see right here on FSPN, the Spartans landed a quick jab, bam, with 2 runs in the first inning off of the Firebirds starter Aaron Elisalt. But the Firebirds answered back with a left hook of their own, scoring 4 runs to take the lead. But with the light of day running out, and most Spartans took the gloves off. Mira, I can't take the glove off, but most Spartans went like this. Bam, le metió un combination. Carlos Panda Gutierrez hit a 2-run double in that one. Isaac Vidal came in to close the door and to get the upset victory 8-4 over the Firebirds that dropped to 2-2 on the season.
This is definitely one of the biggest upsets on the season, and I wouldn't call it an upset because I know that Southridge is always an incredible ball club and ran well by Mo. But yeah, we can definitely say it's an upset.
On Friday, it was the Kendall dogfight between the Bulldogs of Archbishop Carroll and the home dogs, the 144 boys of Braddock. The 144 dogs were coming off of a 16-4 victory over the Coral Reef Barracudas on Thursday, and their bats were red hot. So were the Carroll bats. They beat Goldman 13-3 on Thursday. In this game that you can see right here on FSPN, the Bulldogs of Braddock took on the Archbishop Carroll Bulldogs in a West Kendall Kennel Club showdown. The 144 boys put Archbishop Carroll in a submission hold and forced them to tap out 11-1. Braddock showed them why they're the biggest dog of them all. Adam Hernandez, Marcelo Torres, and Brian Martinez said, "Sácame la Yodelquis," with home runs each in that game.
Yeah, we can call it more of a Sagalo and to Nuketown with those boys as they face Braddock, as they face Varela and JC Bermudez next week.
Mandy's Southwest Eagles improved their season record to 3-1 with a decisive 9-0 win over the Hialeah Gladiators.
The Eagles have a couple of very difficult games next week versus the Westminster Warriors on the road and Columbus at home.
Well, that's it for the recap part. If we didn't get to you this week, we're going to try to mix it up. There's just so many games. We can't get to everybody, Chappi, but we had some really good games this week. And stay tuned, everybody. We have the Player Spotlight coming up. And our guest today is the shortstop for the Columbus Explorers, Max Alvarez. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me, like always, is Anthony Chappi Castillo. Welcome, everyone, to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and today I'm coming to you from beautiful Key West, Florida. And our guest today on the show is none other than the junior shortstop for the Columbus Explorers. It's Mr. Max Alvarez. Max, welcome to the show, buddy. Yeah, this is hard work, man. I mean, you don't want to get into this business, Do something else. This is my job. Hey, Max, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on your recent success, especially at the plate. I mean, man, you've been donating a lot of brand new baseballs to your neighbors on the other side of the fence. Coach Robles, I'm sure, doesn't mind all the free baseballs. Is he giving any of those back?
Thank you. He's giving them back.
All right, so what do you attribute this recent success to? I mean, you're killing it. You've had 2 home runs. You're hitting over 600. What are you doing the same, and what are you doing different?
I would just say all the hard work that I put in day and day out, trusting it, and then just going out there and being myself, not trying to do too much.
tell me about this 2025 team and what are some of the expectations that you guys have for the season?
So I think this team is a really special team, and I think we can go a long way. I don't think we're looking too far ahead. We just worry about one game at a time and just winning it because we know that all the teams are going to bring their A game, and we just got to go out there and do what we do.
All right, so you've already played a few high-level teams, like Matter and Florida Christian. What are some other teams that you're looking forward to play this season?
We're really looking forward to playing everybody because we know that at the end of the day we're Columbus, and whenever we get on the field with an opponent, they're going to bring all they got, and we just got to bring everything we got at the same time.
You're a junior now at Columbus, and after the senior season, you've committed to go to Duke University. Can you tell me what the recruitment process was like and what made you decide on going to Duke?
So yeah, it was a really awesome recruitment process. When I was 11 years old, I got the opportunity to go play at a tournament up there and then got to visit the campus, which was super nice. I fell in love with it. And then a few years later, I got invited to one of their camps and they took me around, fell in love with the coaches, fell in love with their facilities. And then last year or a couple months ago when I went on my visit, I just knew that that's where I wanted to be and end up because it just felt like home. The standards that they have there, the culture, the family, good coaches, good players, and it just made it a really easy decision for me.
All right, now tell me something about Columbus that we don't know and tell me something about the coaching staff.
The coaches are awesome. They give us all the support that we need. We come out there 5 a.m., get our ground balls, get our work in, early work, and we're just a hardworking team. That's really all you can ask for. And at the end of the day, talent beats hard work when hard work doesn't – no way, sorry. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, that's what we do, and I can't thank the coaches anymore. So,
all right, tell me something about the school itself, and you're a couple of years there already. How do you feel about being in Columbus?
That place is just a wonderful place. Teachers there, they really help you there with your grades, your classes. They understand if you play sports, the time that you got to put into school and sports, and they know that you have to make a even amount of time for your sports and your work, but the work comes first, and they do a really good job of helping you.
All right. Do you set any goals in the beginning of the season? What are your expectations? You say you're going to hit 5 home runs. Is that a number you might, tell us what your expectations are?
I don't really have expectations for myself. I'm more of a team guy and just doing whatever I can to help the team win, get as far as we can. At the end of the day, that's the state title. That's what we're looking for.
I want to wish you the best in the remainder of this 2025 season, and we're going to follow your career in Duke, and we're going to wish you the best. And now it's time to have some fun. We have a little segment on the show. It's called the Change-Up. It's where we give you 3 pitches in the form of a question for our audience and your fans to get to know Max Alvarez a little bit better. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. What is Max Alvarez's all-time favorite sports movie?
I think I'm going to have to go with the Sand-A-Lot on that one. It's a movie that I watched when I was really young, and I've always watched it. I just love it.
Is that the one where they hit the ball over the fence and the dog gets it, and that the Johnny the Jet Rodriguez kid?
Yup, it's that one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. Okay, Max, when you're not playing baseball, what are some of the hobbies or interests that you have?
I like working out, but I wouldn't consider it a hobby because I do it every day. So besides that, I think going on the boat, fishing, spending time with the family, spearfishing, all of that, it's just great.
Yeah, last question, Max. What is your favorite restaurant, and what do you eat when you go there?
I think I'm going to have to go with Barry's. It's a place in the Grove. And my go-to when I go there is a chicken parmesan. It's a nice big plate. It's really good.
That's a great choice. That's one of my favorite spots as well, right off 27th Avenue on the way to the Grove there. That place is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, Max, I want to thank you for taking your time and being on the show and being such a great sport and being so dedicated to this game. like I said, we wish you the best. And now it's your time, buddy. You've earned it. You got any shout-outs, anybody that you want to mention?
I'd like to take a shout out to my family, my friends, all the coaches, everybody that had supported me through the way, and all the little kids that are willing to go the long way. Just keep putting in the work and know that with God everything is possible.
Thank you very much, Max. And there you have it, folks. If you didn't know him before, you know him now. He's a shortstop for the Columbus Explorers. He likes to fish, he likes to watch Sandlot, and he likes to eat at Berry's. And he's Max Alvarez, and he's on the Player Spotlight here on Inside the Park. Max, thanks again, and I wish you the best, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go have a pina colada now. Welcome to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for South Florida High School baseball. And now it's time for that ever popular segment called the Coach's Corner. And today our guest has earned over 400 victories. He has over 30 years of experience, and he has earned the love and respect of his community. And it's an honor to have him on the show today. Drum roll, please. Our guest today is Head Coach Ralph Henriquez of the Key West Conchs. Coach, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and very grateful for this opportunity and for you guys to be here in Key West. We're very excited to have you, and we look forward to it.
We are too. We always like getting out of Miami, and this is a great place to. So first off, Coach, I want to congratulate you. 400 victories, 30 plus years experience. So congratulations to that.
Well, thank you. It's been a quite of an experience, quite a long ride. Seeing how we do things here in Key West and our community, the way they support this baseball program over my tenure here, and it's been a blessing, but it's been a great ride with these great young men.
All right, tell us about your path, your coaching career. I know it's 30 years, so we got to condense it because we only got about 15 minutes.
Gotcha. Well, I started many years ago in the school district, just volunteering and helping out while I was finishing my business degree, and little before I knew it, I was applying for the head coaching job back in 1994, and just got on a great ride with great kids and built this program really quickly, thanks to a great coaching staff and supportive community and administration and great players. And came 1996, we were the #1 team in the country, and we ran 46 game winning streak, and it just started to grow from there. And then we started developing the program, and people wanting to come to Key West to play baseball, weekend series, and just developing the players that we had. But we've always been a great baseball community, and it was just a blessing just to get it to where we're at here today.
All right. Share with us the tradition and the history of Key West baseball and this whole Conch community. You know, most people know Key West as a vacation destination. There's actually people live here.
Yes. Well, Key West baseball goes back to the 50s when Key West and Cuba used to integrate and play baseball together here in Key West, and Key West would go to Cuba. But Key West has always been a great baseball town, a very, very aggressive, awesome little league program, beautiful facilities that the city provides for us there, and it just grows from there to here, and in the community, the way they love Conch baseball, it's amazing, and and having 11 state championships doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, that's a big number. Coach, when you were starting out, if you could remember back in the day, who were some of the local coaches that you looked up to and respected?
Going back to the years when I used to come and see Conch baseball being played, and I would just be a young man. You go back to the days of Clayton Sterling, Bill Cates, great baseball man. These were the old-time guys that we looked up to, we feared, we respected. We saw them coming. We didn't know how to act because they were the baseball people. And then, I was always very fortunate to have great coaches, Coach DeFingen, Coach Pedro Fraga, my late baseball coach in college, Mike Easom, and then the pro guys that I got to play under when I had my stint playing in the minor leagues, and then coaching with a lot of major league coaches that I got the opportunity to listen and learn from. So it's been a blessing for me to be on this baseball run.
Okay, let's fast forward to now 2025, and let's talk about this season and some of the expectations. We have some district realignment, and now you guys are in Class 3A, District 16, with schools like Gulliver, St. Brendan's, Sunset, and it's arguably one of the most competitive districts. What's your take on the realignment, and what are your expectations for 2025?
Well, our expectations never change, no matter what district, what alignment, whoever we play. Every year for us here in Conch baseball, it's to go and win the next state championship, because this is what we breed our kids with, and this is the brand of our baseball. It's always going to be tough because baseball has changed tremendously, but we have a very young ball club. It's probably the youngest ball club, or the youngest ball club I've ever managed in my high school career. But I have a great core of young position players, very talented, but they all are freshmen, sophomores. I have 2 seniors that are in the lineup that are position players, and our expectations don't change. Our expectations is to make a good run at it every year, and to hopefully be in the Final Four and win the 12th state championship. So that never changes.
All right, so I have Airbnb on the phone. Do I make reservations for you guys in Fort Myers right now?
I would keep it hot.
Just keep your finger on the button.
Keep it on there. It's a long season, and like I said, we have a young group of kids, but these kids work very hard. We focus very hard on player development, teaching them how to play the game the right way, be fundamentally sound, and limit mistakes. We don't have the older guys and all that kind of stuff, but we know how to play the game the right way, and with structure and discipline. We're very competitive for being as young as we are.
All right. I want to thank you. I want to thank Jack Niles for putting all this together, and it's time to have some fun.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
we
good.
have a segment called The Changeup.
The changeup.
That's right. It's where we throw 3 pitches at you in the form of a question in order to get to know you a little bit better and our audience to get to know Coach Henriquez. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We want to know what Coach Henriquez's favorite sports movie is.
Favorite sports movie, 42.
Oh, with Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's awesome.
That's a good one. Okay, and here's one that everybody gets stumped on. What is your favorite restaurant in Key West, and what do you eat when you get there?
Latitudes out at Sunset Key, and love the seafood, the grouper, and I love the pink shrimp.
Oh, okay. All right. And we may already know the answer to this next one because you live in paradise. But what's Coach Henriquez's favorite vacation destination?
I think just a couple of years ago, my wife and I went to Rome and Italy, and I think I really took a good feel, for that. So I think I would like to go back to Rome and Italy again, and we probably will.
All right, one more question. I know you probably eat, sleep, and drink baseball, but when you're not doing the baseball thing, what could we catch Coach Henriquez doing?
Well, you could either catch me probably maybe downtown at Kilwin's making a waffle cone, or maybe walking around town in the community. Love our Key West community. Love Key West. There's no place like it. And meeting people, talking to people, and welcome them to Key West.
All right. So what's your favorite thing to eat at Kilwin's?
At Kilwin's, oh my God, the ice cream.
What flavor are you going with?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of them. The cheesecake is pretty darn good. The plain vanilla is great. Chocolate chip mint is awesome. They got a lot of flavors. So, but ice cream is really my weakness.
All right. Thanks for being such a great sport. That's always fun to do. Good luck tonight. We have one against Miami Christian and Chris Quadra's crew. You dropped one to him last night. What can we expect tonight?
Well, they're a talented group, and we had a good ball game last night with his talented team, and we expect another, tight ball game again tonight and competitive, and hopefully we'll go ahead and take one tonight and split the series tonight.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. If you didn't know him before, you sure know him now. He's the head coach of the Key West Conchs. His name is Ralph Henriquez, and he likes his ice cream in Rome while he's watching 42. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Remember to stay tuned. Next week we'll have another episode of Inside the Park. This is Uncle Mug saying so long, and we'll see you next time Inside the Park.